Bhakti Devi Tulsi Devi ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Premananda Haribo. All glory is the assembled devotees. All glory the assembled devotees. All glory is the assembled devotees. Jai Sri Guru and Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 2, Text 11, Divinity and Divine Service. Varanti tat tattva vidas tattvam yaj jnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti sabdyate. Vedanti tatvatva vidas tattvam yaj jnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti sabdyate. Vedanti tattatva vidas tattvam yaj jnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti sabdyate. Vedanti tattatva vidas tattvam yaj jnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti sabdyate. Vedanti tattva vidas tattvam yaj jnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti sabdyate. Vedanti tattva vidas tattvam yaj jnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti sabdyate. Vedanti tattva vidas tattvam yaj jnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti sabdyate. Vedanti tattva vidas tattvam yaj jnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti sabdyate. Matajis. Vedanti, they say, tat, that, tatvavida, the learned souls, tattvam, the absolute truth, yat, which, jnanam, knowledge, advayam, non-dual, Brahma iti, known as Brahman, Paramatma iti, known as Paramatma, Bhagavan iti, known as Bhagavan, Sabdyate, it so sounded. Translation. Learned transcendentalists who know the absolute truth call this non-dual substance Brahman, Paramatma, or Bhagavan. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The Absolute Truth is both subject and object, and there is no qualitative difference there. Therefore, Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan are qualitatively one and the same. The same substance is realized as impersonal Brahman by the students of the Upanishads, as localized Paramatma by the Hiranyagarbhas or the yogis, and as Bhagavan by the devotees. In other words, Bhagavan, or the Supreme Personality, is the last word of the Absolute Truth. Paramatma is the partial representation of the personality of Godhead, and impersonal Brahman is a glowing effulgence of the personality of Godhead, as the sun rays are to the sun god. Less intelligent students of either of the above schools sometimes argue in favor of their own respective realization, but those who are perfect seers of the Absolute Truth know well that the above three features of the one Absolute Truth are different perspective views seen from different angles of vision. As it is explained in the first shloka of the first chapter of the Bhagavatam, the Supreme Truth is self-sufficient, cognizant, and free from the illusion of relativity. In the relative world, the knower is different from the known, but in the Absolute Truth, both the knower and the known are one and the same. In the entire relative world, the knower is the living spirit or superior energy, whereas the known or inert matter is inferior energy. Therefore, there is a duality of inferior and superior energy, whereas in the absolute realm, both the knower and the known are of the same superior energy. There are three kinds of energies of the Supreme Energetic. There is no difference between the energy and the energetic, but there is a difference of quality of energies. The absolute realm and the living entities are of the same superior energy, but the material world is inferior energy. The living being in contact with the inferior energy is illusion, thinking that he belongs to the inferior energy. Therefore, there is the sense of relativity in the material world. In the Absolute, there is no such sense of difference between the knower and the known, and therefore everything there is absolute. Varanti tattvavidas tattvam yaj jnanamadvayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaniti sabdyate. Learned transcendentalists who know the Absolute Truth call this non-dual substance Brahman, Paramatma, or Bhagavan. Srila Prabhupada explains that just like sometimes if one is at a train station and sees the train coming, especially in the evening, first from a distance one thinks, oh, the train is the light. Train has a big light in the front, big powerful headlight. And so one at the station may think that a train is that great light. As the train gets closer, one can perceive there's someone driving this vehicle. It's going at great speed and the light is moving, but ultimately as the train approaches very close, one could see there's the light, there's the conductor, the engineer, the driver, there's a big massive train with so many cars, there's people in all the cars. It has all of its variegatedness. So this is the idea of this verse. Varanti tattvaviras tattvam yajnanavadvayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaniti sabdyate. That there are three features of the Absolute Truth. There is Brahman, which is that effulgence. Brahmanohi pratistaham, Bhagavad Gita says, that I am that light, Krishna states. Krishna has his effulgence. That light is the Brahman. The personality of Godhead has an effulgence. That light is Brahman. Paramatma, Bhagavan, Brahman, Paramatma. Paramatma is the Lord within the heart. That the Supreme Personality of Godhead lies within the heart of all living entity. Bhagavad Gita 15:15. Sarvasya chaham ridi sanivisto matak smritir jnanam apohanam cha vedaischa sarvir ahamaiva vedyo vedanta krid veda vedeva chaham. I, Krishna says, am residing in the heart of all living entities. So this is the second phase, and learned transcendentalists understand this phase also. But only the devotees of the Lord can understand Bhagavan. Aishvaryasya samagrasya viryasya yashasa sriya. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead who has all Aishvarya, wealth, all beauty, all knowledge, all renunciation, etc., etc. Bhagavan, he has all 6 qualities in full. Aishvaryasya, samagrasya, viryasya, yashasa, shriya. And one who understands this aspect of God, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, automatically can understand Paramatma and Bhagavan. One who understands Paramatma also understands Brahman. One who understands Brahman can only understand Brahman. So, therefore, it is explained by Srila Prabhupada that one who understands Brahman realization is on the platform of Sat. One has knowledge. He can discriminate, this is matter and this is spirit. This is material, this is spiritual. One who understands Paramatma, the Lord situated within the heart of all living entities, can understand, one who understands Sat, one who understands Brahman, understands Sat, or eternality. One who understands Paramatma understands Sat Chit, eternality in knowledge. But only one who understands Bhagavan can understand Sat Chit Ananda, can understand knowledge, eternality, and bliss. And therefore we see sometimes people are taking to the path of transcendentalism. They're meditating, they're chanting mantras, just like we told the story of the lady at Amla Bhakta Maharaj's program who said, I'm meditating every day. We were there, it was a very wonderful program. She said, I meditate every day, but I get bored of my meditation. So Maharaj said, oh, well, what are you meditating on? And she said, me, of course. I meditate on me. Krishna wakes up in the morning and meditates on himself. We hear from Krishna book. We cannot wake up in the morning and meditate on ourselves. You'll become bored instantly, immediately. We meditate on the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We meditate on service to the spiritual master, constantly thinking of how to serve the spiritual master. This is devotional service. This is spiritual. So Maharaj explained to her that meditating on yourself is boring. He didn't exactly say it, but your life is boring because you don't understand who you are and who is God. So the non-devotees, even so-called transcendentalists, sometimes they say, we've become one with everything. We're at one big yoga festival. And we were getting ready to go on stage. One Brahman, so-called realized person, said, "My spiritual master, shine like the sun." And we bathed in his sunshine. We sunbathed, basically. So me and the drummer of the band were standing there. He said he didn't translate any books, my guru. He didn't open any temples, my guru. And he didn't make any disciples, my guru. Of course, then he's not your guru. If he didn't make any disciples, he's not your guru. Because you're not his disciple. And we were thinking, who is this nonsense talking about? Translated books, opened temples, and made tens of thousands of... And we realized he was blaspheming our beloved Srila Prabhupada. This nonsense said our business is to shine, to bathe in the sunshine of the Guru. One time, devotees were in the room with Srila Prabhupada. And Prabhupada told them, "Don't stare at my feet. Go bring me my slippers." Isn't it, Madan Mohan? Go bring me my slippers. Do something practical for the spiritual master and Krishna. We don't bathe in the sunshine. Sunshine is there. Prabhupada is glowing like the sun. So powerful. But the devotee wants to serve the spiritual master. There's a story in Chaitanya Charitamrita similar to this Mayavad Aparadi. Once upon a time, there was a disciple of Madhavendra Puri. Madhavendra Puri was the spiritual master of Ishwara Puri. Ishwara Puri was the spiritual master of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Madhavendra Puri had one other disciple whose name was Ramachandra Puri. This devotee was not so advanced in spiritual life. He maybe had come to the platform of Brahman realization, but certainly no further. And when Madhavendra Puri was leaving this world and praying to the Lord that I have not loved you fully, I have not completed my devotional service. Please help me, please forgive me. The rascal disciple, Ramchandra Puri, so-called disciple, was there and told his spiritual master, "My dear Madhavendra Puri, now is not the time for lamenting. Now is the time for trying to understand the Supreme Brahman, the light." Chaitanya Charitamrita. This wasn't a music festival for yogis. This is the time of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Ultimately, Madhavendra Puri kicked him away. "If I leave this body in your association, I'll not reach my desired goal. Get out." Madhavendra Puri went and he went to the place of the disciple of his godbrother. He was the godbrother of Ishwar Puri, and the disciple of Ishwar Puri was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who had so many followers. He went there, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu greeted him with a great reception. And because the impersonalistic class of men don't know what is to be done and what is not to be done, don't know what is Bhagavan, don't know what is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, therefore they don't know what is to be done, what is not to be done. They remain on the mental platform. Although Chaitanya Mahaprabhu received him like his spiritual master Ishwar Puri, because he was the godbrother of his spiritual master, he sent him to the house of one of his disciples, one of his followers. I think his name was Jagannananda, isn't it? Jagannananda started serving Ramchandra Puri Prasad. Ramchandra Puri, a little bit more rice. They have a nice puppet show by ISKCON players. Give me a little bit more dal, a little more rice, a little more dal, a little more sabji, a little more sabji on the rice and the dal, some sweet rice, some sweets and some sweet sabji, on and on and on, eating and eating and eating. Then he forced this Jagannananda to eat. He would serve him. And he take more rice, more dal, more sabji, a little more sweet rice on top of the sabji, 10 puris to go with the sabji and rice and sweet rice, and halava. And ultimately, his response was, aha, I heard that the followers of Lord Chaitanya eat too much and force others to eat too much. And today I see it is true. You forced me, of course it wasn't true, you forced me to eat so much, and now I see you're eating everything so much. So Jagannananda was bewildered. What's wrong with this? Because they don't know what is to be done and what is not to be done. Therefore, instead of service, all they can do is criticize. All they can do is fight. So he took his time to go to each of the houses of each of the followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and performed the same blasphemy. Ultimately, he went to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he saw in his room there were ants on the floor. Srila Prabhupada explains in the purport of the Chaitanya Charitamrita verse, in India there are ants everywhere. Here, what is it? Here and there. Everywhere there are ants. But this rascal, Ramachandra, said, aha, I see ants in your room, therefore you must be eating too many sweets. I've heard that you and your followers eat a lot of sweets. Rabindranath will be out in front with the sweets momentarily. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu cut his prasadam in half. He'd only eat a few handfuls of rice. The devotees were very upset. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became very externally frail and lost so much weight, became so skinny, because it was an instruction from the god brother of his guru, Ishwar Puri, Madhavendra Puri, Ishwar Puri, Ramachandra Puri. Of course, ultimately, Ramachandra left that place. The devotees were cheering, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu resumed his taking of prasadam, chanting, dancing in Jagannath Puri. So we can understand, even sometimes devotees, so-called, may have this misunderstanding about Brahman. They may not go all the way to Bhagavan realization, to understand who is God and who am I, why is there suffering, how to get out of the suffering. And they may just want to bathe in the sunshine of the Guru. There's sunshine coming from the Guru. But don't just bathe, go and serve the Guru. Not very advanced. You go up to someone, Prabhu, can you please help me with this service to Srila Prabhupada? No, I'm bathing in the sunshine. I'm busy picking up the rays of my Guru. It's nonsense. Chanting Hare Krishna means, oh my Lord, O energy of the Lord, please engage me in your service. Give me seva. Give me some service to do, because that's my constitutional position. Jiver Swarupoya Nitya Krishna Das. I'm eternally the servant of the spiritual master and the Supreme Personality of God. Chaitanya Dasa Muni, Chaitanya Das, Chaitanya Dasa Muni, Tanra Dasara Das. I'm a servant of Lord Chaitanya. I'm a servant of Lord Chaitanya. I am a servant of Lord Chaitanya and a servant of his servant's servant. Tamal Krishna Goswami wrote one book, nice, beautiful book, called Servant of the Servant. You can read that book. And it tells of service to Srila Prabhupada, transcendental service to Srila Prabhupada. This is the business of the Vaishnava, the business of the one who's Bhagavan realized. Brahman, in the world of impersonalism, they don't know what is to be done, what is not to be done. They go to the Brahma Jyoti. They want to merge with the one, go to the Brahman. And the Brahman does exist. There is a Brahma Jyoti. The light that's coming from Krishna exists. But the only thing is, there's no service in the Brahma Jyoti. Therefore, one has to return to this world to do service. The impersonal class of men don't understand that the purpose of human form of life is to serve the spiritual master in Krishna. Next week they have one big festival we went to and played kirtan for 6-7 years. First 6-7 years. Called Bhakti Fest. Besides our beloved Radhanath Swami, don't go. Their motto is, be in the bhava. You're not in bhava. You don't even have shraddha. Shraddha means faith. Adao shraddha, tata sadhu sangha. In the beginning, first step, first stage, have a little faith in the spiritual master and Krishna. That's the first step. The second step, tata sadhu sangha, associate with the devotees. That means serve with the devotees. Serve the spiritual master. Don't sunbathe. So many people go to Venice Beach to sunbathe, to get nice tone, dark tone. That's not the business of the Vaishnava. Ado Shradatata Sadhu Sangha to Bhajana Kriya. Engage in practical devotional service. Bhajana Kriya. Tato Anartha Nivritti Syat. Then one's anarthas, bad qualities, go away. Syat Nista Ruchistata. One becomes fixed in this knowledge and service. One gets a taste for performing service, for engaging in Krishna conscious life. There's a great taste, a great pleasure, ruchi. Adaushvaratata sadhu sangha tabhajana kriya tato anartana vritti syat tato ruchistata atashakt. How's the rest go? Atashaktis premia ado shradatata sadhu sangata bhajana kriya tato anartha nivritti syat tato nista ruchistata tato bhava. After that, then is bhava. Then you can be in the bhava. We're not in the bhava. Maybe we're in sadhu sangha or shraddha, sadhu sangha, or bhajana kriya. Hopefully. Even our anartha nivrittis, they haven't all gone away. We dream about them. In our dreams, the anarthas are coming up like anything. I wake up and I have the strangest dreams. And I'm praying to Krishna, please, make sure it's just the drugs that the doctor gave me, that these things are in my brain. And they're saying, oh, be in the bhava. Yeah, be in the bhava, but don't make it cheap. It's not a cheap bhava. This bhava you have to go through step by step. You have to pass all the tests. Anartha nivritti syat tato nista tato ruchistata. And ultimately, prema bhudanchati sadakanam yam pramne pradurbhavet kramaha. Ultimately, Krishna prema, being the prema, is not a cheap thing. When someone takes something cheap that is so exalted, we call that sahajya. Cheapening the process. The process is very dear. We went so much kirtan, we go. And all the time we see the Mayavadis. Here's a tune I made up. I composed this tune. One yo-yo, not a yogi, a yo-yo. He said, I was there. Here's a song I composed when my car was broke down in Three Rivers, Pennsylvania, wherever that is. And he started singing, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. And I was like, hey, wait a second. You didn't compose that. You weren't even around when that was in ISKCON. What to speak where that came from before ISKCON? I composed the kirtan tune. He stole it from the devotees. And now he's singing the tune so much like Bing Crosby, for those who know, Frank Sinatra, not with love and devotion, but with lust and commotion. Unfortunately, sometimes devotees listen to this. Milk touched by the lips of a serpent. So one should be very careful. Same person, we won't mention names. They played kirtan in Los Angeles at the Wiltern Theater, I think it was. So the manager called me up and said, please, Sura, can you bring some of that wonderful prasadam from Govinda's? Of course, it was yesterday's prasadam, but that's our little secret, how we make everything so special. So he brought the prasadam. I said, let me go in the back. So such and such is my friend. I'll give him a plate. No, he's very upset. We served all the musicians. He had a whole 30, 40 people. Brought prasadam for everyone. And he said, no, he's very upset because he wanted to have pepperoni pizza. One with everything. And they voted, and everybody voted for Govinda's except for the big musician, the big star, the big chanter. I said, well, let me bring him a little something. He said, no, he's got his pizza in the back. Don't bother him. He doesn't want to be bothered. Then he went on to chant. He's even chanting Hare Krishna with pepperoni pizza coming out of his mouth. This isn't Bhagavan realization. This isn't Paramatma realization. This isn't Brahman realization. This is insanity. This isn't spiritual. You're eating meat and chanting while pieces of the meat come out of your mouth during the chants. And chant any old thing because you couldn't make it as a materialistic singer, so you try to make it as a kirtan singer. This is the situation in the material world. In the so-called spiritual world of yogis and yoginis is garbage. I'll defend that. So one should be very careful. You can practice yoga for your health, but don't be influenced by the philosophy of Mayavad yogis and yoginis. Impersonal, not even the level of Brahman. They don't understand what is Brahman. Otherwise, if they even understood what is Brahman, they would understand eternality. What would be the question of eating meat? If one understands that I am eternal, one is on the spiritual path. This isn't even the spiritual path. It's materialism utilizing or copying Sahajism, following the chanting of our mantras. So one should be careful, understand what is spirituality, what is not spirituality. One should stay fixed in the association of devotees. Here, Srila Prabhupada's books, we're on such a nectarine chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam. Every verse is jam-packed. Every verse has the complete understanding of Bhagavan. And learn these verses. Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavaniti Sabdyate. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. Hey, I gotta tell the truth. What happened, Yogini?
I fell off the bed. I was having nightmares.
Yeah, I
I
have
decided to come. I think it's some of the meds that I'm taking. Yeah.